Alrighty, here we go again with our Super 6-4 study. If you haven't checked out part 1, please do that right now so you can get up to speed with where this lesson is headed. Also, make sure to download the PDF for this lesson so you can practice these concepts and these grooves even if there's an internet blackout. Also, if you want to go deeper with this Super 6-4 study, I have a section in my book, Essential Rock Drumming Concepts, completely dedicated to this entire approach. For these daily drills, we have 5 grooves you want to master. The more comfortable you can get with these grooves, these groove exercises, the better and more confident you will be able to play so many other essential grooves. Like I mentioned in lesson 1, I really enjoy using this 6-4 3-note grouping phrase because it hits all of the 2-note 16th note variations. It's kind of a skeleton key of sorts that if you can play these phrases on your kick comfortably, you'll be able to play 99% of the 16th note bass grooves we're consistently called upon and expected to play as drummers. And what we also want to do with this lesson is build our balance by incorporating, yes, our hi-hat. All of these exercises, we're going to play 8th note stepping on the hi-hat. So we're going to build each groove starting with the kick and the hi-hat, and then we're going to add the ride. And then finally, we're going to add the snare part. So this way we can focus on each component individually and really build up a nice foundation so we thoroughly understand how each groove is really created. All right, cool. Let's get into this. Let's develop our basic groove. We're going to play on the snare. We're going to play beats 2, 4, and 6. Ride, we're just going to play 8th notes. Kick drum, we're going to play variation A of the 6-4 pattern. And then once again, the hi-hat, straight 8th notes.
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5.
Okay, now our next groove is pretty much exactly the same thing. The only thing that is going to change is the ride. Rather than playing 8th notes on the ride, we're going to play 2 16th notes and an 8th note. This is a very common ride pattern. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, 5 E and, 6 E and. Remember, we're in 6-4. Okay, so we're going to develop this the same way, starting with the feet, add that new ride pattern, snare on 2, 4, and 6. Let's check it out. This is groove number 2.
5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5.
Okay, now let's reverse that ride pattern. This is kind of the cousin to the previous one. So rather than 1 E and, we're going to start with the 8th note and then play the last 2 16th notes. So what does that mean? 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 1. Let's check it out. This is groove number 3.
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2,
we're going to get a bit adventurous. Everything is going to stay the same, but once again, now we're going to change the ride pattern. The ride pattern is actually going to play variation A, which is the same rhythm that the bass drum is playing. So what does this mean? We're playing the ride and the kick drum at the same time. This is going to make the snare drum feel a little bit different because it doesn't have this consistent ride pattern that we're used to. So the thing is, you just need to count. If you're not counting, you're going to be kind of lost and you might be swimming around trying to find where the beat is or where the pulse is. So this is why counting is so vital and it's so important when we're learning something new. So we're going to take it slow, same approach, feet first, and we're going to add that new ride variation. We're going to really dial in with the kick drum, make sure there's no flamming going on there, and then we're going to add the snare once again on 2, 4, and 6. It's going to be fun. I know you're going to dig it. Here we go.
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5.
And finally, for our last groove here, we have a bit of a rhythmic doozy. So rather than playing variation A on the ride, which we did previously, we're going to play the 6/4 variation C. Still playing variation A on the kick drum. What this is going to create is almost this Swiss triplet type of feel or relationship between the ride and the kick. So you might want to just try to play the ride and the kick together just so you can kind of hear how this overlapping rhythm works. It's actually really cool. But we're going to develop this the same way, starting with the feet. And then we're going to add that new ride, variation C, add 2 and 4 and 6 on the snare. Super fun. Sounds kind of advanced at first, but I think you'll quickly realize that it's not too far out of the coordination wheelhouse you may find yourself in. Let's check it out. This is
3,
groove 5.
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5.
All right, once you get comfortable with all these grooves, I want you to go back and change the bass drum variation to variations B and C. We just did A for all these exercises, which is great because that helps us establish the foundation, but I want you to experience what does it feel like to play those different bass drum variations with all the different ride patterns we just played. Initially, it might sound and feel quite different, but you're going to quickly realize that it's pretty much the exact same coordination. The only thing that's really changing is how we're perceiving these rhythms, how we're hearing these rhythms within their place in the bar. And that's really the goal here. We need to train our ear to be able to hear these rhythms in all the different positions so that we can have the maximum amount of freedom with these grooves. All right, so make these grooves a part of your daily drill regimen. And in the next and final lesson, we're going to explore the third component, which is incorporating snare drum variations. It's going to be good, I guarantee it. So until then, stay focused, practice with purpose. We'll see you soon.